Today, we're comparing three ChatGPT apps that allow you to build forms and surveys straight from within ChatGPT. So basically, I'll run you through the three apps, how they work, what they can do, what they can't do, and then at the end of this video, I'll give you a quick overview of when you should best use which app. So we're going to start by using an app called Weavly. So Weavly Forms and Surveys. The way that you set up is just you search for it, you press connect. I already connected, and then you can actually just start a chat. So the way that Weavly works and the way that the other apps also work is that, well, you describe the form or the survey that you need, and then ChatGPT is going to use all of the tools made available to it by the ChatGPT app, so in this case Weavly, to actually go ahead and create your form. So let's keep it basic. I need a contact form. It's going to be quick, and then we'll see what we can do, how we can tweak it. So ChatGPT is now calling into all of the tools available through Weavly and is actually going to create our form. So typically when the tool call has a side effect, so for example, creating a form or publishing it or changing it, you'll get a pop-up asking if you're really sure. You just press yes and go ahead. And in this case, in the case of Weavly, what we get is a preview from within ChatGPT of the actual form. So the cool thing here is that you can open this up so that it's a bit larger. You can actually go ahead and fill in the survey and or form in this case and play around with it to see how it works. So I can just fill in my name, I can fill in my email address. So for example, there's validation built in. So I'll just type in something and we'll see that it works. And then I can type in my phone number and a message and I can press submit, and you can see the form that I'm using inside of ChatGPT is an actual form. So you have validation, you have everything built in. You can press submit. And then if I want to retest my form, I can just reset it right here. You can share it, but we'll come to that in a second. So the other things that you can do using Weavly app inside of ChatGPT is that, of course, you can further tweak the form. So I could say add a gender question, for example, to my contact form, and then it will update our form, give us a new preview with the additional elements. And we can then, of course, again, play around with it and test it out. So that's pretty basic, right? So I can just change the form. Cool thing is I can also change the style of the form. So make the form look nicer color-wise. No idea how good ChatGPT is in picking colors. So there we go. It's made it look nicer for some definition of nice. So it's a tad less boring. It's still pretty corporate. But you get the drift, right? So you can change this. If you have brand colors, for example, you can be precise in what brand colors that you need. Another cool thing is that you can use the full functionality set of Weavly. So for example, if you want conditional logic, that's also possible. So let's say I only want to show email address when someone typed in their name. Okay, so as we specified, email address is hidden. And as soon as I start typing my name, the email address pops up, right? So you can basically tweak your entire form using only the chat interface from within ChatGPT. And whenever you're ready to actually go and submit this or like publish this form, because of course you can't really collect responses using this form, it's just a preview. You can either ask ChatGPT to publish it for you, or you can just press the share form button right here, which does the same thing. It will lead you into the Weavly platform, and it will copy over the form to your account. So if you don't have an account yet, it will ask you to create one, which is completely for free. You get unlimited forms, unlimited responses. And as you can see, your form is live and you get a full standalone URL that you can just enter into your browser and share around. So in the free tier, the only thing that you do have is this Made with Weavly badge here. So if you want that gone, you'll need to upgrade, but for the rest, you can then use Weavly entirely for free. And of course, you can still further tweak the form from within this interface. So if you want to add additional pages or questions, if you want to look at into different integrations, if you want data in Google Sheets, for example, all of this is available from within Weavly. There's other tutorials. I'll leave a link here at the top of this video if you're interested in Weavly as a whole. So that's the first tool. The second tool that we'll be trying out is a well-known form builder called Jotform. So if you search for Jotform in the app marketplace, you can find it right here. Of course, I already connected. Again, you need to just connect and you can start. It will ask you to create an account up front. Jotform's free tier is a bit less permissive, so you only get 5 forms and 100 responses per month. So basically, I think in general, the Jotform works very similarly to Weavly. So I need a contact form. Let's try the same prompt. It's going to create it for us. It's going to give us a render preview inside the chat that we can play around with. So to that end, it works in the same way. In general, Jotform will probably allow you to some more advanced features, for example, WhatsApp integration, those kind of things. But the major baseline functionality is the same. So pricing is a big difference. And what you do get with Jotform, which you don't get with the Weebly GPT app, is that you can actually also analyze your responses from ChatGPT. So before we dive into that, here's our contact form created by Jotform. You can see it's a double column thing. That's, for example, a thing that you won't get from Weebly, but the rest stays the same. So I can just enter and fill this in, and I will most likely also get the validation. Let's just open this a bit bigger. Oh, actually, there you go. You get a small error inside of the Jotform app in ChatGPT, but essentially it works the same. So what it does do, which Weebly doesn't, is the analysis of your submissions. So I can say, list my forms. It's going to give me an overview of all my forms inside of Jotform, and then I'll pick one which actually has responses so that we can see how the analysis works. So analyze the responses for the product feedback survey. And then ChatGPT is going to pull in the data and give us an analysis, and we'll see what that looks like in a second once the tool calling is done. So there you go. It gives you a general overview of your responses for that survey. Of course, in general, as always with AI, the better the prompt, the better the responses are. But it's pretty cool. It has access to all of the data in your survey, so you can ask it also to generate charts and graphs, that kind of stuff. Now, of course, with Weavy, you could export your data as a CSV and just upload it to ChatGPT and get the same thing. But the nice thing is that this is integrated with the app. So Jotform, more expensive. So if you're working on a budget, or if you need more than 100 responses per month, Weavy will be the better option, but you get the data analysis built in. The third tool that we're going to be using is called Formbyte. And again, works very similarly. So I need a contact form, but a couple of minor points here. The preview that we'll be getting inside of ChatGPT is a preview of what is going to be inside the form, but it's not the actual form. So if you want to go ahead and try it out, you need to press View Details, and then you can see the actual form elements, and you can press the preview button and start playing around with it. But from within the ChatGPT app overview screen, you can't actually fill in your form. So that's one thing. The other thing is that Formbyte as a whole is a pretty new tool, and there's quite some bugs at the moment. So for example, if I press View Details and I do Open in Formbyte, then I'm redirected to the main page, but this button doesn't do anything. That button just leads to a blank page, for example, and there's no pricing available on the landing page as well, right? So I think it's a sort of a work in progress kind of thing. But in the same sense as Jotform, you are supposed to be able to view your responses and do data analysis on it. Although, of course, given that I can't actually access the form from an Formbyte, I can't really gather responses anyway. But it works similarly. It looks promising, but I think at the moment it's still a bit too early to be able to really test it out and see how it stacks up against Weebly and Jotform. So to summarize, if you're looking for an AI-powered form builder, which has a very permissive free tier, Weebly is going to be your go-to tool. If you're looking for very advanced functionality or for analysis of your data inside ChatGPT, Jotform might be the better option, although you'll need to open up the wallet. And Formbyte is an interesting prototype and work in progress, but it's not really up to the standard where you would gather responses at the moment using a Formbyte generated form or survey. If you like these kind of tutorials, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.